So my name is Rich Slack. I'm the president of a company called Chrysalis, and also we have a pharmacy that we run as well. We help people with intellectual disabilities. So we do 24-hour care across Utah, Nevada, and we're moving into other states as well. And then we also provide their pharmaceutical needs, healthcare needs. So we're tracking a lot of data. We also have a lot of employees. So we have about, 2,700 employees currently. And so we have a lot of data. Every employee has to be trained on a number of different trainings. Part of the issues that we're facing is just the siloing of data and then trying to make things streamlined. So we have a platform on Salesforce that we're using where we're tracking all client data, appointments, houses, utilities, vehicles, you name it, we're pretty much tracking their whole lives on Salesforce. But at the same time, we had employee data that we had to tap into. So the employees that live in or that work in a specific house have to have their trainings done. But it was difficult to keep up to date on what trainings they had accomplished, which ones they hadn't. Most of the team members were in Salesforce working on data. So we needed a way to pull that data from Paylocity over into Salesforce so that we could have a tight integration of who's working in what house, what trainings they had completed or not completed. And so then I needed a way to integrate with Paylocity. I needed a way to integrate with other systems because I am a citizen developer, but I didn't want to be reliant on coders. So with our old software, they helped us initially build out the structure of it. And they said, hey, by the way, you have these other connectors that you can use. But the problem is I can't program them to connect them. And so even though I'm paying for these other connectors, I can't actually utilize them. We were using, I think for 2 to 4 years, we had that in place. But then there was other ideas that I was having that I wanted to utilize. And so it was a dual concern, that we didn't know what they did. I could go in there and make little tweaks and stuff, right? But it wasn't like I understood exactly what was going on in the back end. If I'm going to pay that much for a product, I want all the possibilities to be open to me without having to rely on the company to go back in and code stuff. And the companies are more than happy to help you at the beginning of the process to build that integration for you. My concern as a consumer is, well, if I don't know how to build it, then I'm wholly reliant on your expertise to, if it goes down, or if the API changes at some point, or if I need to pull in additional fields, I don't know where to go, what to do, and so I'm at your mercy. And I have always been uncomfortable with that type of a model, and so I look for a replacement where I could actually build it myself, understand what's going on, understand if it breaks, how to fix it. So if you are a coder, for sure you can go in and understand it very quickly. And if you're not a coder, there's a learning curve like on anything, but it's a much less steep learning curve for API integration between different platforms. Sometimes when you have the siloed systems, you wonder if it's worth the cost. Typically, if you can get data over in front of people in a meaningful way, it does drive change, and that's where the value comes in. So to guesstimate what dollar amount, I don't know, we have, 16 different offices, we have 2,700 employees, we have 350 managers, where now this data is disseminated automatically in the system immediately, and before it was Excel spreadsheets and emails and all the other stuff. So I don't know how you'd extrapolate that dollar amount, but it's a huge efficiency. You should always be innovating at your company and trying to come up with efficiencies and other ways to streamline your employees' times, your team members' time, so they can focus on more important tasks and higher level thinking. But I think there is an interesting pivot that we might see, and especially in smaller organizations, where the person that's been in the company the longest knows, like, whoa, if we could do this, right, has that vision of, if we could do this one thing really well, then it would totally change the trajectory of our company. If you have up and coming businesses that can't afford necessarily or don't understand what it means to hire a whole team of developers and stuff, but if you have a low code apps, well, they can go out there and they can achieve their vision of what they need without having to pull all that technology in. They can oftentimes, once they get over that initial learning curve, they can do it quicker and less expensive, right?